Hello, my name is Barkley Trimble, Superintendent of Mammoth Cave National Park. We have had a busy year at Mammoth Cave, as usual, and I'm excited to share with all of you some of the highlights of 2022 and see what we can all look forward to in 2023. This year, Mammoth Cave hosted several special events that showed just how varied our park is. In April, the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Dennis McDonough, visited the park to meet with our very own employee veterans. While he was here, he went on a cave tour, nature walk, and learned about ways the Office of Veterans Affairs can coordinate with national parks to enhance opportunities for our nation's veterans. We also hosted the official dedication of the Green and Nolan Rivers National Water Trail in June and provided our first ranger-led kayak tour down the Green River. We were also selected as the location to display the first images of the James Webb Space Telescope in July. We held a special public program about the telescope and the images it was capturing at the amphitheater. In September, we all celebrated the 50th anniversary of the connection between Flint Ridge and Mammoth Cave. The park coordinated with the Cave Research Foundation for a special cave tour to the connection site and displayed the large-scale map of the entire Mammoth Cave system at the Caverna High School. Our EE staff presented several hands-on activities in the picnic area, and Interpretation held a special questions and answer panel with the original CRF Connection team at the park's amphitheater. It was a great week of activities for the public. We are thankful we had so many partners who made this possible. In October, the park hosted a dedication event for the Bransford Family Monument that brought several generations of Bransfords to the park for the official unveiling at the Bransford Family Cemetery. It was a wonderful event that highlighted one of our many pre-park families whose long history is tied so closely to Mammoth Cave. And finally, the Cave Sing returned for its 43rd year as an in-person event. The event had been held virtually for the past 2 years, and everyone was excited to get back into the cave and hear the holiday music once again. It was a beautiful event and a great kickoff to the holiday season. Despite high gas prices and a dynamic economy, people were still getting out to visit Mammoth Cave in 2022. Our staff worked hard to meet the demand of the public throughout the year. Even during times of low staffing and unexpected absences, the Mammoth Cave team pulled together to make sure we could continue to offer a chance to experience Mammoth Cave to as many visitors as possible. I am very proud of our people and how they rallied together to keep the park operating. While 2020 and 2021 showed expected low visitation because of the COVID-19 pandemic restrictions, 2022 is clearly getting us back in line with the visitation numbers we were seeing in 2019. The park was a popular destination during the pandemic, especially for people looking to get out on our park trails and waterways, and studies are showing that visitors are continuing to come to natural areas like national parks even after COVID-19 restrictions have been lifted. The pandemic brought us new users, and now we must look at ways we can welcome those visitors and ensure the increased interest in recreation at the park does not impact operations and our natural and cultural resources. A good portion of the support for the environmental education program came from our partners, Friends of Mammoth Cave and the Mammoth Cave National Park Association. These groups provided generous donations of money or equipment that helped to make it possible for us to host several teacher workshops and provide virtual programming for thousands of students across the nation. We could not have provided the amount of outreach that we achieved in 2022 without their help. In 2021, which is the most current year of data available, 516,000 park visitors spent an estimated $47.9 million in local gateway regions while visiting Mammoth Cave National Park. These expenditures supported a total of 643 jobs and $25.5 million in labor income in local gateway economies surrounding Mammoth Cave National Park. The park has many projects underway or in the planning process. It has been a busy 2022, and it looks like it will continue through 2023. Mammoth Cave National Park received approximately $6.5 million from the Great America Outdoors Act to rehabilitate about 1 mile of cave trail inside Mammoth Cave from the new entrance to the frozen Niagara entrance. The project will address deferred maintenance, visitor safety, tour experience, and natural and cultural resource protection inside the cave. The project is expected to last until late summer of 2023. Some of the highlights include hardening of the walking surface, rerouting around the submarine stairs, improvements to the frozen Niagara overlook, and improvements to the Crystal Lake overlook. The park is starting the process of a comprehensive trails management plan with an environmental assessment which will look at how the park manages, maintains, and distributes use of current trails, and look at the possibility of creating new trails. We have been collecting data over the last several years with Clemson University, Kansas State University, and Western Kentucky University. A review of the proposed plan and public comment period is expected to occur in midsummer of 2023. We have initiated the process for an environmental assessment and design to improve Denison Ferry and have contracted design work on a new canoe kayak ramp at Houchins Ferry. The goal is to improve river access points at both sites and improve the entrance drive, day use, and parking areas at Denison. We completed an EA for the Houchins Ferry in 2020, but are still awaiting funding to complete a full rehabilitation at the entire site and are now completing a small portion of the overall design. Up ahead, the facilities group will be conducting a rehabilitation of the old warehouse known as Building 55. The space is currently being used as storage for unneeded items, but after its rehab is complete, it will provide much needed space for Eastern National and Explore US to store retail items for their operations. The park will also conduct a rehabilitation of the outdoor amphitheater area this winter. A new LED screen has been purchased and is ready for installation. The new screen will allow staff to use the display during daylight hours and not be limited to nighttime only programs. We are also in the process of replacing all of the benches at the site. The old benches were getting wobbly and were uneven in many areas. The roof of the current Hercules train engine will be coming off this spring for some structural modifications and repairs to the structure. We are also in the design process for a new enclosed shelter to better protect this important cultural resource and hope to have that in place within the next 2 years. The entrance signs at our national parks are well-known places to start your national park adventure and get that much coveted family portrait. To improve the experience at Mammoth Cave and to provide a perfect family photo opportunity at all of our park entranceways, we are installing new entrance signs and parking areas at Chaumont, Green River Ferry North, and Cedar Sink entrances. The project is currently in the design phase, and we hope to see improvements to start some of these areas as soon as fall of 2023. 2 popular front country hiking trails are getting a makeover. The Heritage Trail that starts from behind the hotel is being redesigned to eliminate the need for a wooden boardwalk while remaining accessible for wheelchairs. The new design will create an improved gathering area behind the hotel and tie into the improvements being made at the hotel for the roof replacement project. The Sand Cave Trail is also getting a redesign that will extend further into the Sand Cave area to create a short in-loop trail for a better view of the landscape. Both of these surface trail projects are currently in the design and compliance phase. The park is planning for several cave trail improvement projects for several years to come. The work will improve the surfaces along Cleveland Avenue, around the ruins of Karnak, and in the Ravennesque Hall section of the cave. We are also designing an elevated platform for River Hall that will keep our visitors from tracking dirt throughout the cave system. The Mammoth Cave Hotel Roof Project will continue into 2023. This project is also being funded through the Great America Outdoors Act and is helping to address the park's backlogged maintenance needs and other exterior and interior deficiencies of the park's main hotel building. The building is receiving a new slightly pitched roof, new energy-efficient windows, and increased insulation in the roof and walls. The interior lobby has already been reconfigured to enhance the functionality of the building and improve the overall visitor experience. The new lobby design creates a more open and inviting gathering space for visitors accessing the lodge and adjacent park visitor center. So far, the work that has been completed looks very nice, and we can already get a feel for how the new building will look when it is complete. Other improvements to the concession facilities that occurred in 2022 was at the Woodland Cottages and Hotel Cottages. Both areas received new, wider concrete walkways, and the Woodlands also received new stairway decks, the removal of all exterior paint, repainting, and new screen doors and screen windows. The Hotel Cottages had all exterior paint removed before repainting and are having all 10 bathrooms remodeled. For 2023, we'll see the Woodlands getting new roofs, insulation, and installation of HVAC systems that will make them bookable in all 4 seasons. The concessions area will also see the addition of up to 8 new family cabins that will accommodate up to 10 guests each. The park has been working with the concessionaire on a design that will fit into the landscape of the hotel. The structures will be built at the far western edge of the main hotel building between the Heritage Trail and the parking lot. The parking lot realignment project is also moving forward with the Federal Highways currently working on a design for the area. The new hotel entrance road and parking lot will incorporate more green space around the hotel while providing an improved drop-off area for cave tours. The park is coordinating on the design and planning to replace the current employee housing units with a new and improved building that will provide a much improved experience for our seasonal employees and volunteers. The current housing has many structural issues and does not meet the expectations we have for housing for employees. The new units are being designed with the employees in mind, with individual bedrooms and features like storage areas, a gym, and an outdoor gathering space. We are working with pre-approved MPS designs, but want to make sure the final structure meets the needs of Mammoth Cave. The building pictured in this slide is a conceptual rendering only and not the final design. We are slowly but surely moving forward on plans to install electric vehicle charging stations in the visitor center parking lot. We are able to use funds from a Clean Air Act settlement to purchase the equipment, but have been running into issues with providing the electricity at the stations for a small fee. We are looking into payment processes and options that will abide by National Park Service regulations. Thank you for taking the time to sit in on this presentation and learn about all of the great progress we are making at Mammoth Cave National Park. I am very proud of my team of dedicated employees. We look forward to welcoming you to the park to experience the many improvements we have coming our way.